Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Map Making with Sparks. We are once again on the unnamed map. I am really bad historically at choosing names for things, so it still doesn't have a name. It was originally going to be called Splash Dash. I was going to do some stuff with potions, but I don't really think potions are going to be the way to go for this map anymore, so I don't really have a name for it. Anyway, hopefully this recording turns out okay. I'm using OBS instead of Fraps to record today because there's a couple of other windows that I'd like to record because we're going to be working a little bit, at least at the beginning of the episode with resource packs. But today's episode's goal is to start playing around with some of the mechanics for crates or boxes. So for every level, I would like there to be a load of boxes around that you can smash or break or jump on to destroy, and they'll have stuff inside them, and there will be a goal where to 100% the entire map you need to get all of the boxes in every level kind of thing. So it's gonna be interesting. I'd like them to be nice, like have a nice feel to them. And on Twitter I asked the other day for people to submit textures for crates. So I've chosen one sort of that was sent to me. We might not stick with it, we might change it up, but it's the one I've gone for. So if I use the magic of OBS to hopefully switch to to my folder here, you can see that I'm in my resource packs. I've created a resource pack called Sparks Game Resource Pack, and in here in assets we have some folders. Now I've copied this structure from other people's resource packs. This is a metadata pack. So in assets Minecraft, this is just a folder I've added called crate. This is the crate that I've been sent. There's textures in here, and there's a JSON file. Now I know where this goes. If I copy this, we can go to models, blocks, and then paste it in here. And we need to give this the name of the block that it's supposed to be replacing. Now I'd like to use slime blocks for this. Slime blocks are transparent blocks, and I'm worried this is going to screw up because it's transparent. So just for now, I'm going to call this stone. So this is our stone block. Let's head back to Minecraft, and I want to try and just see what happens if I now enable this resource pack called Sparks' Game Resource Pack. There it is. So if we click done, there's one other model in this resource pack, which you'll see in a second, which I was just playing around with. So if we get some stone, oh dear. Okay, so it looks like the 3D model is there, but it's missing the texture. That's understandable because the textures it's looking for haven't been put in yet. So that's kind of a cool crate texture. Now, let me show you my glass texture. So I don't know how well you can see it, but this is a crystal that I was just playing around with. Now it looks really cool in your hand. You can even it's a bit strange when you hold it, but it's been associated with the glass block. This is all new to me. Resource packs completely new, especially block modeling. When I place it, oh yeah, I removed it. You can have different textures and block models for items and for blocks. So it did weird stuff where the it wasn't red. It was an outline with sort of blank clearness. So I don't really know why it did that. So let's go back to the Explorer and see if we can work out where we're supposed to put the thingamajigs. Hang on a second. Okay, so here I am. I've quickly opened up Notepad++. This is the file we just pasted in, and at the top here you can see that it's got a list of textures here. This is what a 3D model file looks like. It's just specifying all the points that it's made up of. And over here we can see. By the way, this was submitted by Duck Jr. I believe he's called Duck Jr. Yeah, Duck Jr. seems about right. But you can see it looks like we need to put these textures in the blocks folder. I'm literally learning as I go. Now I notice there's a space here. I really don't like spaces in file names, probably just because I'm a programmer, but I'm going to just change that to an underscore. And we're going to go into the Explorer, and we're going to go back to here and get our textures, and we're going to change create texture to have an underscore in it. And then I guess we're just going to move all of these. I don't know what wood 1, 2, 3, 4 is for. I don't think we need it. I'll copy these two and we can move them into the models block in here. I think that's where they go. Well, let's try it anyway. So let's head back to Minecraft and re-equip the resource pack by just doing this. And then let's see whether it worked. I don't know if I broke it or if it's invisible. I think I broke it. Huh, okay, the texture is not being detected. Interesting. Okay, alright, I'm going to try putting these into a folder called blocks within the block folder. Like so. So they're in here now. Let's just try that again. It's really hard working with multiple windows while recording, but I imagine this is the sort of thing that you get used to over time. Yeah, no, it didn't work. Okay, interesting. Okay, I got it to work, I think. I don't know if this is my fault or not. It appears to have what looks like TNT in here. I don't know what the tall green thing is. And sponge and some missing texture. I honestly don't know whether this is my fault or not. But I worked out where the files were supposed to go. I feel like maybe Duck didn't specify textures for all the faces. I'm very confused why there's a little white dot there. I know there are lots of ways of making block models, and there are lots of ways of making them wrong, as in way more faces than there need to be. So, but I'm not an expert in this at all. I don't know if anyone viewing this can see whether this is a nice number of polygons or not. But we'll go with that for today's episode. Something interesting I noticed, by the way, is you see how the bottom of this block is culled. It's cut off when I'm in the ground, but the bottom of the crate is not, which means I guess that all the sides are always rendered, which is kind of interesting. The reason I'm back in Fraps, by the way, the OBS, I have to convert the file and mess with it for ages before Premiere Pro will accept it, so I don't particularly like doing that, but I will occasionally do that in this series. So I'm just going to quickly swap this over from a stone block to a slime block and see whether it still works. By the way, all I did was, under Assets Minecraft, I added a new folder next to models and block states called Textures, and inside that I created a folder called Blocks, and inside there I put the images. Okay, so stone blocks are back to normal. Let's hope that slime blocks look like crates now. I'm not entirely sure where slime blocks are. Okay. So it didn't work. Is that... the reason I want slime blocks for the crates, by the way, is because I'd like to be able to bounce off them. I think that'd be cool. I wonder if this is because it's a complex model, because it's a translucent block, or whether it's because I misnamed it and it isn't called slime_block. And I don't know how to find out. So according to the wiki, this may be called slime instead of slime_block. So let's try that. I've just changed it over. I found a block model wiki. Oh, hello. Yeah, there we go. So that's rendering fine. What kind of particles is that displaying when I drop on it? The missing texture particle. Okay. I wonder whether I need to specify that. Let me have a quick go at that. Huh, okay, that didn't work. I added this line to the textures, to the texture part of the JSON file, but it didn't seem to work. We'll look at that later, I suppose. By the way, I'm going to be trying to keep all of this very open and accessible to you guys. So if you look in the description, there is a link to a GitHub folder that I've set up for this project, and it should have all of the folders and assets and files and textures that I'm using in this series. So if people want to play around with it, they can do so. So hopefully that'll make a nice, interesting addition to the way this works. I don't really know how to get it to... Maybe planks isn't the correct name for the texture. Whoa, man. You seeing this? Slime blocks render very strangely. Okay, that's very odd. Can you see the sort of texture flicking around as I rotate? Very odd. So let's have a look at this then. I think we're going to work this via armor stands. So one of the things we're going to get to, one of the main reasons why there are going to be armor stands inside these crates later, but for now we want the crates to contain something, right? For now I'm going to be using these crystals. These are going to drop and they're going to be collectible, and I imagine that if we add a life system to this, which I think would be kind of cool, they will, like, 100 of them will equal a new life. Although you can't stack things to 100 in Minecraft, so maybe we'll do 50 equals a new life, maybe something like that. So we've got our slime block crate, and we want this to break in a couple of different ways. So I'd like it so that if you stand under it and jump, it breaks it. I would like it so that if you jump on it, it breaks. I'd also like it to bounce you, really. It's a little bouncy. I think it's because I was holding... it's because I'm missing mostly, I think. There we go. So I think it'd be cool if you could bounce off it. Might make for some very interesting parkour where you have like a long space, and the only way to get across it is to bounce off the crates, and as you bounce off them, they break. So it's going to be interesting to make them break after they've propelled you up. And I'd like it so that the special attacks, the click and the right click, potentially also can break the crates under certain conditions. So that's something to look for there. I noticed that slime blocks make you move a bit slow when you're on them. That might be a bit weird. So let's try the bottom one. This is probably going to be the easiest. Jumping to destroy. Okay, I've started a new fill clock for the main reason of just wanting it to be separate from this so that we don't get confused. I've just noticed this fill clock is on the edge of this chunk border. I will eventually move it over a block just to reduce the tile ticks that it's generating. So let's just quickly tell if we can detect this slime block up here. So let's do execute at p detect. So this would be the block directly above us. So this is going to say hi when we stand underneath this crate, I believe. It does. Okay. So what I'm wondering is if we can check a decimal, like rather than an integer, we'll test for, this is the wrong clock over here. So rather than 2 blocks above us, what happens if we do 1.9? It doesn't detect it when if we jump. It detects it for 2 ticks. It lists it. So we might want to try 9.5 just to see if that's allowed. That might stop it from triggering twice. It probably doesn't matter if it triggers twice, but if we can minimize it, although it might be handy to have a little bit of extra detection there. So we can detect that we've jumped under this slime block very easily, which is kind of nice. I'm going to just change that back to 1.9. So what do we do with that? We want to wanted to drop the correct number of crystals. Now, when this drops things, we have 2 real options. The items... Well, actually, I can think of 3 things that these things could do. You can either have the items it dropped just float where the chest was, and if you jump at them, you'll pick them up. You could have the items fall. Or the items could be added directly into your inventory. And an interesting thing with Crash Bandicoot is it kind of does 2 of those things. If you break it from below, they float there, but you're close enough. Well, basically, sometimes if you jump on them, if you jump on the boxes, it breaks them and adds the it drops the contents. So I'm thinking off the top of my head here. So if you bounce on them, the contents is dropped. I think specifically it floats there. It might fall occasionally. I need to go double check this maybe. If you stand below them, if you break them like this, then you are close enough to the items that they just get sucked into your inventory. So we could make the box behave differently depending on how you break it. And if you attack it from the side with a special attack, again, it just drops the items, but if you're standing close enough, it just adds them straight to your inventory. I don't think there's any way of increasing the pickup range of a player, but we could teleport items very close, like within a block of the player to the player, and they'll pick them up then. So I think using a teleport on these specific items, we could teleport them to the player and make the pickup range a bit bigger if we feel we need to. So let's try putting an armor stand in here. And this armor stand is going to mark the crate, and it's going to tell the crate how many items it has in. We're going to use these crystal things for now. We could probably come up with something more interesting. Oh, do you know what? I really want to call either the game or the boxes, or this episode, or some combination of the three Foxy boxes now. Can we just have like tiny little fox textures, and you just got to collect little foxes from these boxes? Because, oh man, I will try and link to the video, but Foxy Boxes it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged kind of thing, but it was very amusing. I don't like that missing texture. Anyway, so what was I doing? Armor stand. So let's summon an armor stand. These episodes run out of time so quickly. I'm tempted to make them longer, but I'm worried people will get disinterested or distracted. So we're going to summon an armor stand inside the block. And we're going to do no gravity 1, and we're going to give it a custom name of box. Got our armor stand there. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. And this armor stand is going to be responsible for telling the box how many things it has inside it. So let's create a new scoreboard over here. Oh, I'm so looking forward to tab completing in 1.9, by the way. Scoreboard in tab completing in command blocks. Scoreboard objectives, add try. If we're changing what it is, I don't really want to call it crystal or something like that. And I don't want to call it box content in case we want to put different kinds of things inside. Box quantity, maybe. Box quant. Dummy. Baller. Sweet. Okay, so this one over here, we're going to give it a box quantity of... I'm just thinking... We're going to have a command block per possible quantity if we do this. Which isn't a big deal really, but I'm wondering if there's a better way. So you can't like make it drop an item with the count of the quantity. You could possibly get it to spit out an item every 20th of a second until its count runs to 0. We could try that. Let's try that. It might be a little slow. Or we could do it in 2s or something. Well, that's just stupid. Okay, right. Let's just give it a box quantity. Let's just roll with it, see where this goes. So we're gonna go scoreboard players set at E, R equals 3, type equals armor stand, which is that armor stand right there. Box quantity, let's give it a box quantity of 10. Scoreboard objective set sidebar, box quantity, box quantity. Okay, so this box contains 10 crystals. Good. If we do stuff now, let's think. So let's just create another fill clock for box quantity stuff. So I'm going to clone. This is how I set up fill clocks now. Go over here, and I'm going to go. I'm running out of space. I guess I'll go up here. These are going to need to be reordered later anyway, like so. Okay, so there's our fill clock. I would nearly put that on the chunk corner again. Let's move it in one. Although it's probably going to be moved later anyway. Okay, so this is our box drops clock. So we're going to execute on any armor stand that doesn't have a slime block at its location. We're going to get it to summon a glass block, which will look like this crystal, and we will get it to count its box quantity down. So execute at E type equals armor stand score box quant min equals 1, so as long as it's got more than one item left, and detects slime at itself. Detect at itself slime. We want to execute on that as to summon item at itself, and then let's see if I can get this right first time. Item ID Minecraft glass count 1. It's probably not right. I'm going to run this bit by itself just to see if it works. Hey, it worked! Look at that. So that'll summon the item, and then we want to take away 1 from its box quantity. Execute at dtab because understand score box quant min equals 1. Detect slime minus 1. Scoreboard players remove at EC equals 1, i.e. itself. Box quant 1. Okay, that targeted me. Let's try... Oh, it's air. We want to detect air here. And I guess for C equals 1 we have to put type equals armor stand. That's annoying. And I wonder if it's... I think it's been summoning glass blocks this entire time, because it's supposed to be only doing this when it detects air. Summon item. Okay, how many hundreds of glass blocks do we have over here? A lot of glass blocks. I think it stopped those. So game mode... Oh no, hang on. We want to clear our score. So let's break the slime block. And it dropped 6 glass blocks. Okay, good job. Nice, thank you. Nice try. Let's try setting you to 10. How many did you drop? 10. I wonder why I dropped 6 last time. Maybe just a fluke. Just a fluke. Okay. Well, that summoned them pretty quick, right? Let's do the breaking bit and see whether we pick them up. Pick them all up when we jump under the crate. So let's put the crate back. I don't think we needed an extra clock for this. This is literally if the player detects a slime block, set block 2 blocks above the player, air 0, replace. This might drop the slime block. I hope it doesn't. Okay, so jump, and it's gone. It'd be nice if it shattered. So I think if we do destroy, we're gonna get like the noise. We can turn tile drops off on this map. Let's game rule do tile drops false. There we go. So we need a command block to put this slime block back. Okay, so whoops. Right now we have no crystals. The box is there, and the box quantity is 10. Jump. Yeah. Well, it gave it to us pretty quick. I'm going to try that again while moving and see if I leave any behind. Yeah, I got 3 and the rest dropped. So, I mean, the quantity's not too big of, like, I think, like I said, I want this game to be speedrunnable. I want people to be able to just breeze through it. I completely failed to jump and break that then. So I'm getting sort of half of the 10. But if we had any more than 10 in there, then that's not going to be great. So we can either have just one thing in each box, different crystal colors or different item colors could have different values in terms of giving a new life. Or we're going to have to go one command block per possible quantity, and then say if it has a score of 10, then put a count of 10 on the item summoned, kind of thing. Or this might be interesting. Which clock is it? I think it's the one up here. Instead of summoning the item, can we give it to the player? So, literally, give Appy glass 1-0. I don't remember if it's quantity. Give amount data tag. I think that's right. So this time when we run into this, it gives it to us as we're running by. That's kind of cool. So, I wonder how that looks. Yeah, you don't really see it. Okay, interesting. It's playing this slime break noise. I wonder if we can change the sound it makes. The only reason I'm using a slime block is literally because I want to be able to bounce off it. But maybe we should try and simulate the bouncing mechanic using explosions or something. I really want to know. I think you can retexture particles. I wonder if we can create a new sound for the explosion sound and retexture the explosion particle and then use explosions to push players off. Like give them heavy resistance so the explosion doesn't actually hurt, and then use the explosion to basically catapult the player off the crate. I can't help but feel that might be very uncontrollable when trying to move. My goodness, we're on almost at half an hour. I just edited and I realized how much time we've used up. The time just flies when I make these videos. So I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here just to keep the episode at a reasonable length. Next episode we'll probably look at we'll probably continue on. I'm just gonna keep recording. But I might I'm gonna keep recording once I've got some feedback. And we'll work on like jumping on the box and the bouncing mechanic and stuff like that next episode. By the way, I don't know why I'm out of breath, but by the way, thank you for the lovely responses from the small but happily existent number of women in the comments who said that they are interested in Redstone and command block and programming and stuff. It's good to know. And of course, Lapis Demon Mary makes amazing command block videos. I am incredibly embarrassed to have forgotten about her while making the previous video. But there's a link to her channel in the description. She makes some really cool stuff. So go check her out. And I will see you in the next episode. As always, leave your feedback and comments. I really appreciate them. See you then. Bye.